Hi everybody, it's Laura Susan Johnson. Just wanted to say uh, my heart goes out to all of the victims, the families of the Orlando massacre that occurred on the 12th of June. I really, I am very angry. I'm very outraged, disgusted. I don't know what's going on in this country. I don't know why people are being allowed to buy guns after they've been investigated by the FBI for possible terrorism ties. Ties to terrorism, I mean, but I'm really getting sick and tired of this crap. I'm really tired of it. There is no excuse for what happened. And 50 innocent people lost their lives, or 49. I keep hearing that now it's 49 when it used to be 50. I don't know why they can't get their story straight on the news. But my initial reaction to this 3 days ago was, what the fuck? It's not a surprise to me, really. I'm outraged, and the shock is, it's because it was such a huge number for an enclosed space, and of course it has been declared the worst shooting in U.S. history, worst mass shooting by one gunman, I guess. We have a lot of birdies. Anyway, I'm disgusted, and I have a really bad habit of going on social media to talk to people about these things. And sorry, my camera I can't hold things very well because I get weak. I'd actually prefer not to show anything below the neck because I'm wearing very skimpy clothing right now because it's very hot. It's 96 here and kind of muggy, but not as bad as it could be. It could be a lot worse. Anyway, I have a lot of family on both sides of my family who are Christians, and I am not a Christian hater because I know there's good Christians. I've met good Christians. And I really like BuzzFeed because they're diverse. I've said this before, and I know people are sick of hearing me say it. But it's such a diverse community. They have atheists, they have Christians, they have Muslims, they have people of various Indian religions, and Native Americans, and they have LGBT people, but they don't I mean, I don't think I would hire bigoted, racist, any kind of undesirable. To me, those are the undesirables. Unfortunately, we have people in this world that are so backward thinking that they belong in the dark ages, and they think that LGBT, blacks, any Asians. Remember that UCLA student? I have a whole YouTube playlist dedicated to her stupidity and all the now she's basically gonna be she won't ever live that down for the rest of her life. She may be able to get on with her life, but that's on the internet forever. But there's people that are stupid and they're backwards, and culture, I try to respect culture, but I cannot respect cultures or religions that harm innocent people or animals. I have no respect for Daesh or ISIS because they kill people and they murder people in the name of their religion. How can anybody respect that? How can anybody say that's a good thing? I don't believe in any kind of religion. I don't have respect for any kind of religion or any kind of culture that abuses women or children or animals or men even. I mean, I'm not a sexist person because I have no gender. I'm agender. That's why I'm doing this video too, because I'm queer. I am an agender, asexual, gender non-conforming. I think gender's overrated. I've said that before. I'm just so upset and so I get on social media just because I want to reach out or see what other people have to say. One friend who I used to be best friends with for many years, the only thing she posted on her Facebook was some quote from this country singer Ronnie Dunn, who I actually like. I like Brooks and Dunn quite a bit. That's one of few country music things I like. I'm not a fan of country music most of the time. But the only thing she put on her Facebook that even had anything to do with the Orlando incident was that Ronnie Dunn quoted, taking guns away from the US isn't the answer. And murders happen not because of religions or races or whatever. It's because we live in a godless society. And this friend of mine, she's been real quote unquote Jesus-y in the past few years. And like I said, I don't hate Christians, but when they constantly quote Jesus this and Jesus that, and constantly, I mean, it's like, lady, what are you trying to prove to yourself? If you love Jesus, fine, but you don't have to talk to me about your daily devotionals on Facebook. You don't have to put it up on Facebook that you read your devotional every day. If you love Jesus, the only person it should matter to, the only person it should matter to is you and God. And these horrible bollocks overseas, they want to take over the world and make everybody submit to their religion, their Salafist forced religion that is made out of brutality, out of making women into nothing more than property. I mean, I'm terrified of those kinds of people. And just the thought that they were behind this shooting in Orlando at Pulse, it just makes me, I mean, they weren't behind it. Some wannabe was behind it, but then they just came, after it happened, they said, yeah, sure, we love it. We love that he did that. And that made me really sick. And then the icing on the cake is Pastor Anderson from Arizona. I don't know how many of you know who he is, but look him up on the internet sometime. Pastor Anderson. I don't even remember his first name, Steven or something. I don't know, but he's a prick. He's just a smegma infested dick cheese prick. He should go overseas and join ISIS. I think he admires ISIS. I really do. Because although he's a Christian preacher, every time ISIS does something, he basically sits there and victim blames. He victim blames. He's on the same hateful team. If you're a hateful person and you hate to the degree that ISIS hates and that this Anderson shit breath hates, you're a murderer. the KKK hates in these degrees. ISIS hates in these degrees. Any murderous terrorist group, any kind of organized crime group that ruthlessly and just savagely kills and murders people, or hates and savagely spews hateful things against people, they're murderers. They've already said they've basically exposed their intent and their heart. This Anderson preacher, he's the most hateful, vile. It's like when he opens his mouth up, I see Reagan from The Exorcist spewing out her green pea soup shit. It's disgusting. When ISIS did their terrorist stuff in Paris, Pastor Anderson said, well, those people at the concert deserved it. They were worshiping the devil. They deserved it. Victim blaming, victim blaming, victim blaming. And then when this happened, Pastor Anderson said, well, they were gay. We got rid of 50 pedophiles that night. What the fuck? Not only is this man the most crazily hate-spewing dick cheese I've ever seen, he's still stuck in the 50s where they thought homosexuals and pedophiles were one and the same. I mean, homosexuals and pedophiles, back in the 50s, they didn't distinguish between the two. That's how stupid the 1950s were. Thank God for the 1960s. My grandmother, the old, bigot. Oh, the Beatles came to this country and they ruined this country. They ruined this country. Okay, whatever. Kim Davis, Mike Huckabee, Pastor Anderson, Donald Trump, I wish they'd all go overseas and just join ISIS, because they're all just about as hateful as ISIS is. The KKK, they won't go over there because they hate the color of their skin. And ISIS hates the color of the KKK skin. So, anyway. So my initial reaction was anger, 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 anger. I'm so angry, I'm so outraged, I'm so full of wrath. Half of it was righteous anger, but half of it was just basically calling this pastor all the names that I just basically recited to you. Festering bag of cat vomit was one that was quite humorous to some, but I meant it. It does no good, though. It does no good just to be hateful. I think we need to write letters to our senators and governors, and we need to insist. For one thing, why doesn't Walmart fly their... I went there this morning, and their flag was at full mast. It was just a bunch of gays. Who cares? Why? Why is it that whenever anything else has happened, any other shooting or terrorism, here or overseas, I've seen our flags at half-mast, but I never saw the Walmart over here have a half-mast flag, unless they only do it for a couple of days and then they just forget about it. I think you should do it for at least a week or two. It is, after all, the worst shooting in U.S. history, right? I'm pretty pissed off about that, too. But, getting past anger and the worthless name-calling shit, I finally broke down and watched Anderson Cooper naming the victims on YouTube, and I had to have a good cry. Finally, the real crying came out, not the internalized crying where I was, mostly angry but also crying inside. I finally just cried for real. So, I don't think this is the end. I mean, ever since I mean, it's been going on for decades, but they have been trying to undo the law that was passed not even 1 year ago. You know, gay marriage legal in all 50 states. I mean, ever since Kim Davis pulled her fucking stunt with Mike Fuckabee along her, backing her up, it's just been one thing after another, and now this. I don't feel safe in a public place. It could have been me on June 8th when I was at a pride pageant, an awesome drag show. These beautiful ladies in lovely gowns and singing their hearts out and dancing. It was beautiful. I live in the Bible Belt. I could have been mowed down along with a lot of people in a it wasn't even a nightclub. It was just a party. It was like a evening party. We were done at around 11 p.m. Oh, sorry about that. Anyway, we were done around 11 p.m. I mean, I'm usually wiped out. I'm an old lady. I'm 46 almost. So, anyway. I guess I don't really know what else to say except that I stand with you, Orlando. I stand with the queer, the gay, the trans, the bisexuals, the asexuals. I'm asexual and I'm queer. So, I don't want to hear about the arguments. This isn't the time for it. I don't know why that keeps happening to me, but I guess it's time to close out this video. It's already over 15 minutes. I'll be definitely editing though, so I always seem to have this little scar from a pimple. Anyway, that was a waste of time too. Let me just close it out by saying I love you, Orlando, and I'm so terribly sorry this happened. I hope it never happens again, but I really don't trust anybody to protect our communities. I really don't. I don't trust anybody to protect us, so just be happy. Everybody just be happy and live your best life, live your fullest life, live every day to the fullest, and let your friends and family know you love them. That's all. Till next time.